Hello, Rare Elvis Photos. Time to dig back in to see what you guys are thinking about and talking about. Mitchell Westford 9312 said she's not a Presley anymore. She left Elvis a long time ago. On the video, Priscilla Presley is a fraud. What do Elvis fans think? At Dana Cormier says Priscilla is ripping off everybody. Off with Graceland people they go to see. Graceland, all they really want to see is Graceland. Um, Appreciate that comment, Dana. On the video, was Priscilla married after Elvis? Did she divorce in 2008? There's a new post. Sharon Cunningham, she said, I don't know and I don't care. I know Sharon is not a big fan of Priscilla in any way. Appreciate you coming on here. I see you every day on the channel here, Sharon. We appreciate your comments. And this is something I was doing a while ago, and I got to get back starting to do it. I can't answer all your comments, or my wrists would fall off and my fingers would fall off. So this is a nice way for me to include all of your thoughts. Now, whether you believe what I say and have the same opinion as me or differ, I definitely want to give you some time. So it's Priscilla using again at Kilkenny Rose 7099, which I love that name. From everything I've seen and heard, she loves only one thing: money, money, money. Priscilla seems to have the reputation of using everybody and everything to get money, from the time of Elvis and even earlier, if you've read Child Bride. How long will the Priscilla Presley money train run, and who does it run over next? This is kind of a newer video at user-ec1jc60e9 exclamation mark. Hey, you got to get a better username than that. Change it so we know who you are. You see how many women cashed her beauty for her whole life, no feelings and respect to others. I think you're saying that Priscilla cashed in her beauty her whole life with no feelings or respect for others. So, yeah, I think that that's kind of the opinion that I'm seeing on here quite often. At Madeline, pretty name there, Madeline G3056. How long will this go on about Priscilla Presley? I guess you make money out of talking about people or celebrities. It's not at your business. What people do you need to get yourself another job? I probably should have hit the read more so I could finish reading your comment, Madeline. Appreciate you being here. And of course, there's a reply there as well. Maybe somebody agreeing with you, maybe somebody not agreeing with you and arguing with you. But, if you take a look at YouTube, if you take a look at Facebook and all the Elvis sites, you're going to see that my opinion is not just my opinion. I see what a lot of people are thinking out there. And I was a big Priscilla defender for a while until I actually did a lot more research. So if you do your research, maybe you'll see a little bit different side of story than maybe being a Priscilla fan. But I appreciate you being on here. I appreciate your opinion. Lisa Marie Presley gone. Priscilla Presley asked what's next. And then Maria Contreras says she loves her daughter, or she loved her daughter, Lisa Marie. Maria also said, I'm glad Elvis is not here. He always defended Elvis, even though they divorced. That's true in the beginning. He definitely did defend Priscilla, but he also declined to take her back. And if you actually just read what Vernon wrote, he was not pining after Priscilla. And if he knew how much Priscilla was going to use him and use his image, I don't think that he would have liked that very much. I definitely think that he felt like he might have owed her something for her waiting so long. So anyways, I appreciate your comment. At Chris versus or VS7ED, when she loses this lawsuit from Bridget Cruz, she is going to be on Riley to allow her to move into Graceland along with her son Navarone, who has no connection at all to Elvis. No. Yeah, I've heard that too. Now, if she really is broke or was close to being broke, and she's having to go around and talk about Elvis in order to have money, there's two different things going on here. Either she's spending way too much money because she is used to being a rich person, because isn't she still getting a bunch of money from Riley in the settlement every year for the next 10, which, that's if she survives the next 10. That's why it's only a 10-year period. Priscilla Presley's a fraud. What do Elvis fans think? 2 hours ago, Greg OK Ray said, Prissy makes my blood boil. Yeah, it's I mean, she never ceases to amaze me. The fact that all she does is spin her stories about Elvis, um, and that she allowed the actual Priscilla movie to be aired. That's something that doesn't get talked enough by Priscilla fans. How long will Priscilla Presley Money Train run? Who does it run over next? At Joanne Deason, she said she's not a Presley. If she loved and stayed with Elvis until the end, that would be a different story. That's true. She literally was ready to get out of the marriage as soon as she was married to him. As soon as she was pregnant, had a baby, and had an income for the rest of her life. That's my opinion, but it's also a lot of your opinions as well. Let me know if you agree with that or disagree in the comments. On the video, is Priscilla using again? At Brenda Booker said, it's always been about the money for her. While Elvis was gone, Prissy was having her fling with Mike Stone. And before that, with her dance instructor. I think that she has always had a thing for Jerry Schilling, too. She isn't the innocent one. Now, that's an interesting angle there. I've heard about that angle as well. I don't know what to believe on that. A lot of people think that her and Jerry had an affair while Elvis was alive, while she was there at Graceland with him. I like Jerry a lot. I can't imagine that, although he was a young guy, you never know. I know that Elvis went after Myra, and Myra and Jerry uh, got married later on. So a human is a human. I mean, they all have needs, and I don't know what Jerry did or what Priscilla did, but that's kind of more of a rumor. I think it might have been spread by somebody in the Memphis Mafia or Maid. How airbrushed is Cruella here? Dragged your son on Dr. Drew and said his wonderful mother got an award for having lost a child through drug addiction. Yeah, I don't know. Her tears to me seem to be. I don't really know. I don't want to speculate on that, but I appreciate your comment there. At Marta Arroyo Herrero, I wish I read Spanish, and I wish I would have clicked that translate to English when I was screen recording this. Marta, I will try to get back with you on that comment. And Joanne Klingeman, I hope I live long enough to read the true story of Priscilla Boyu, written after she's long gone so they won't get sued. That's true. She sues everybody. So it's funny that she's getting sued and that she got sued. She's usually the first sewer to get that money. Who'd have thought Priscilla Presley and the word sewer? You know what a sewer is? Underground, full of, yeah. Anyways, at Elvis Fan Forever says she's a terrible wife, mother, and grandmother. Now, once again, I try to, play the devil's advocate. Her granddaughters, at least Harper and Finley, seem to love her. But, maybe she dotes on her granddaughters, and maybe she doted on Riley, too. I don't really know, but I know that she does need to stop living off the Presley name. That's one thing I admired about Riley. She didn't want to use Elvis's name. She didn't want somebody to say, hey, I'm going to get you an audition and tell them that you're Elvis's granddaughter. She wanted to get roles based upon her own merit. And Priscilla's never been that type of person. She's just used Elvis. It's all she's known. And maybe you can't blame her because maybe her parents pushed her into that. And maybe she's a victim in all of this as well. And maybe she's not been able to learn how to get rid of that victim role. And she just continues to do what she does. At Mr. SG or MRSG 9273, they caught the lady that tried to steal Graceland. Some old lady living in the mountains of Kentucky, I believe, is where they said she lived. She has scammed many people. Now, that's interesting. I haven't heard that. That being said, I'm going to look it up while I'm here just to see if there's something I'm missing. Anyhow, let's move on to the next comment while I look it up. Beata 1010, I'm only an Elvis fan, and I've never liked his ex-wife. I feel sorry for Elvis, Lisa Marie, and Benjamin. Oh, so do I. I appreciate that comment. I do see this here that Nasani Investments volunteered to reduce their lawsuit, to settle it for $950,000. I'm just looking at this. Who plotted to sell Graceland? An identity thief raises his hand, but I think that's that was the person from Nigeria. I'll have to look it up and get back on there. Deborah Jones says she is sick. I need to scroll back and make sure I didn't miss a comment real quick. Okay, I didn't, so that's good. All right, so is this the holy grail and most valuable record of Elvis's RCA Presley vinyl records? At Dwayne Doe, or Doel, it's 3246, says second issue cover, buddy. I appreciate that. I was talking more about the actual vinyl record, the 1S If you saw the rest of that video, I've got about 9 other records up there, and then I've got other records as well. I've got probably a total of 70 of those. So I'm pretty sure I've got a first issue cover somewhere, but I appreciate you noticing that. It might have been maybe the colors that you noticed, or perhaps the back of the album. Pop back on, let me know. I appreciate you and your knowledge. How long will the Priscilla Presley money train run, and who does it run over next? At Tammy Justice 4358 said, yes, there's no doubt Priscilla is behind the taking Graceland thing. I don't think Riley will let Prissy take advantage of her, or at least I hope so. Prissy has benefited enough from that last name. She doesn't deserve the Presley name. She's selfish, and she only cares about her bank account. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of people speculating that since the fake company was from Florida, that it was associated with Scientology, and of course Priscilla Presley tried to get Elvis into Scientology and forced Lisa into it, and so she's a pretty big wig in that Scientology group. At Queen Scott 4572, Priscilla has been riding the Presley name since Elvis' passing. Despite all the men she's had in her life, none was ever able to provide what she profited from Elvis. She's the only woman who has been married and divorced from a famous man and had his child still be referred by the media as if she was with the man at the time of his passing. That's true. This woman chose to move on with a married man named Mike Stone, who had a kid as well. On the way. He eventually sold her out to a tabloid, and she moved on to many before Elvis passing and many more after. Now wants to insult ones of intelligence as if she was the love of his life. She used Lisa's name to cash in on Elvis, and now she's using her grandchildren to cash in on a man who divorced her and moved on with other women. I don't know why that scrolled by so fast, but I appreciate that comment. I'll try to get back with that comment more, but I agree with you. At Dana, Elvis, and she loves Elvis and she loves Priscilla. Okay, well, appreciate your comment there. At Yvonne Simpson, 4584, if it was not Priscilla, there would be no Graceland, and that's a true statement. You can't take that away from her. Now, I do remember opening up the replies to see what you guys responded. So let's take a look at that. The 5 replies that get popped open is going to say, let's see, Elvis 78 ALE said, this myth again, with laughing faces and smacking the head. At Tracy 5245 says delusional. So there's disagreement on that comment. And let me jump in here while the rest of the comments scroll down. It was already in process. And it wasn't Priscilla that her business mind and her business acumen came up with it. The board of directors, based upon what Vernon had discussed and what the board of directors and investors had discussed about that, we're going to open it up anyways. She did become a face of it. And she, you remember she had that tour through Graceland. Well, she walked and she talked very monotone, very much just like this over and over again, with no ups and downs and stuff. At Marta Arroyo, I'm sorry, I don't know Spanish. Sometimes I have a translate thing that I can click on that, but there was none there. I appreciate you being on here, and I know that the Spanish-speaking contingent of the subscribers definitely appreciate your comments. At Marta Arroyo Herrero, I've definitely translated some of your comments before in past videos, and you are certainly an Elvis defender, and we all appreciate that. At Sissy K says, not a fan of hers, but she is not responsible for the health problems of Lisa M. and Elvis, which led to their deaths. Now, I got to say that directly, no, she didn't poison Lisa. She didn't poison Elvis. But when you're with somebody that's toxic and stressful, which she seems to be, that can cause a lot of health issues, and it can be indirectly create some of that stuff. Now, we're responsible for our own health, but if we got that toxic individual around us, that certainly can lead you down a bad path with extra stress. Stress is the #1 killer in the United States. It's always been. At Trish Davis 278 said amen to that comment. And then at MRSG.9273 said, yeah, okay. So one person agreed, one person did not. And of course, I disagree and agree. I understand what you're saying. So moving on, at user-Dr2YC1DE9E, please stop referring to this vile so-called woman as Priscilla Presley. She is not a Presley. But Priscilla Wagner-Beaulieu, thank you. I believe she's must be allowed to be buried anywhere near Elvis, I think is what she's going to say there. All right, so that concludes the comments. I appreciate you being with us. Like, subscribe, share this video around, and stay tuned for the next one that I'll do. Appreciate everybody on this channel.